Well, that was a close one.
Very close.
England almost met a similar fate to the U.S.
And, you know, that could have bonded America, U.S. fans and English fans even more. But it was not meant to be for England to go out in the round of 16 because they prevailed. I mean,
We sound sad. We're excited. We're excited that they went. But sad for Nigeria.
I guess I am a little sad for Nigeria because that's such a cool story. But you're right. England is one of the teams I'm rooting for. But England Super Falcons, I mean, that's the coolest name. We talked about that.
Yeah, I love it.
But it was a wild game. So much. It's almost been like maybe the most controversial game so far throughout the World Cup in a lot of ways. But that's what we're going to talk about today. Super Falcons out, Lionesses in, and that was quite a game. Congrats to England for moving on, and I am rooting for them. Then again, there is very few teams I am not rooting for.
I know. It's like whoever wins at this point,
I'm rooting for.
You know, we're rooting for them. We're okay with it.
Exactly. So Nigeria and England. This game did happen a few days ago, but we still wanted to talk about it. And going into the game, I think a lot of people thought, England had the upper hand. A lot of people predicted them to win, but Nigeria is one of those teams this tournament who has the X factor. They're a very successful team. I think they're the most successful African nation team that there is. So they're a great team. And the question was going to be, what was the update with Keira Walsh? The reports were that she was solo training by herself and then joined the group. But seeing the starting lineup, she was starting. And she ended up almost playing the whole entire game.
It's exciting to see her out there because, I mean, based on what we last saw, it looked like she was going to be out for who knows how long. So.
Yes. I mean,
are we sure they didn't, clone her? And just,
put a Keira Walsh look-alike?
Yeah. Are they cloning or...
Deep fake?
Deep fake.
You never know. But she played. It was great to see her out there. Going in the game, Sarah and I watched the whole game from, what the commentators were saying. England, it wasn't the kind of performance I think a lot of people thought England would have. There was a lot of chances for the Nigerian players.
They came to play.
Yeah, there was a lot of chances. You think about England that they have Sarina Vigman, they know what the plan is, but I mean, they didn't execute it. I think like they wanted to execute this match. This was a kind of a mirror of the United States games in a lot of ways, but the difference between the United States game and this English game, the U.S. for the majority of the game played better than Sweden.
Yeah.
And in this game, for the majority of the time, Nigeria, most people would say they played better. Mm-hmm. Then again, I did see this comment saying people think Nigeria was the better side. They said less possession, less pass accuracy, less shot on target, more fouls, more corners given away. Every stat disagrees. To say England played bad or horrible, that wouldn't be fair either. Mm-hmm. There was one shot where it hit right on the crossbar. Right. It would have been 2 inches lower. It would have been a goal.
I know. That was so close.
So close. I think a lot of people thought, Nigeria's going to take it. I think a lot of people thought. Then there's two major things that happened in this game. So the first one we're going to talk about was something that happened, I believe, in the 31st minute. And it had to do with a penalty. And Rachel Daly.
Lionesses denied penalty by controversial VAR decision as Rachel Daly goes down in the box against Nigeria. The Lionesses were denied the chance to open the scoring in the World Cup last 16 tie against Nigeria by VAR. Rachel Daly was brought down in the box after what appeared to be a push in the back from Nigeria's Rashid Ajibade. The referee immediately pointed to the spot with England's designated penalty taker, Georgia Stanway, grabbing the ball and preparing to put it on the spot. But the Lionesses were left baffled as the referee was called over to the monitor. The official then announced she'd changed her mind after reviewing the footage, deciding not to give the spot kick and leading England to miss their chance to go ahead in the game that saw Nigeria have the better of the chances. Fans were fuming over the decisions, too. One wrote, "Not a penalty for England, and I would love to know how they came to that decision. Like I said, I felt it was soft to give the penalty, but there's contact in the box on Daly. Baffling." Another added, "There was a penalty. Daly was pushed." And a third wrote, "That's an absolute joke. It's a stonewall penalty. Never a penalty, jump to the ground, decision should be a yellow card to England player for simulation," another fan wrote on Twitter.
Yeah, so that was, everyone who saw the game saw this was a pivotal moment in the game. Because I'll start here. If they were awarded that penalty and Georgia Stanway connected with, that would have changed the course of the game, I think. Be one up, you
absolutely.
play a different tactic. But two, it said, The penalty was given. They reversed the decision. Now, two points on that. One thought VAR was overstepping its reach. If the ref made the call on the ground, it should have stuck with that because she saw contact and it should have stuck with that. Then other people said, no, that's why VAR is there to show, hey, the contact wasn't penalty worthy. That was absolutely the right decision. And there's a lot going on, but I think at the end of the day, it was a call. But I did see a lot of people say, there was that contact. It should have been a penalty. And I can see both ways. It did look like a bit of an embellishment. But was it enough embellishment? Because there was a bit of contact, I did see a lot of people saying that should have been a penalty for England. That should have been, and it could have changed the course of the game. Maybe not gone into a PK situation. But that was definitely controversial. English fans, I want to hear, I think most English fans would say, hey, it was fair to give a penalty. But I think I could see both ways. Is there any English fans who didn't think it was a penalty? I mean, obviously, if it's my team and it's called, I'm going to say, maybe not the best call, but it's the call and it should stand. That was definitely pivotal. It could have changed the outcourse of the game. From there, same kind of thing. Nigeria just looked very hungry. They looked, I felt like they were going to score. Okay, we're going to jump to the other major part of this. That happened in the 87th minute. As we've been talking about, Nigeria had answers for a lot of for the English game. A lot of people said one of the things that Nigeria was doing, they were putting a man, if not two men, on Lauren James the whole game. They were double teaming Lauren James. Lauren James didn't have the chance to get the ball a lot of time because that was the Nigerian tactic. So in the 80th minute, I think it kind of boiled over because then we saw what had happened.
England's World Cup star was sent off after she shockingly stomped on a Nigerian player's back.
Yeah, and we saw that. And obviously we know the player is Michelle Alozie, but they had a collision. They both kind of ended up on top of each other. She ends up getting up and then stepping on her, which was very overt.
Very overt, yeah.
We saw that, and first reaction to that was, it was two reactions. I'd never, you don't see that a lot of times because that's so blatant. It's so like, what is she doing? Yeah. And then the second thing I kind of noticed, and I think a lot of people talked about it, the commentators were kind of almost like, oh, she was being naughty. You know what I mean? She was being a little, they weren't taking it as seriously as what it turned out to be, which I guess I understand because if you're the commentator, I guess you kind of want to commentate what's happening in front of you because it was at that point only a yellow. So the ref saw it, did a yellow. Then, I saw people talking about this online. When it happened, most people are saying, wow, instant red before they even called it.
Maybe the ref didn't see that angle,
Right. So then the ref came back, then the VAR looked at it and came back and it was a straight red. Lauren James earned a red card in the 87th minute of a 0-0 draw after stomping on the back of Nigerian defender Michelle Alozie. Egregious foul merely earned a yellow card at first, but after a review from video assistant referee, the penalty was upgraded and James was ejected from the contest. And I think anyone who saw this knew that is a mistake. It was wrong. Even an English player would say it's wrong. It's bad. It's not good. She put her team in a bad position. She's down. They're down to 10 players for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. And at that point, it still looked like it was going to go to extra time. So they were going to be down for a long time. So, I felt bad for the English team. I felt bad for the English fans. I felt bad for everyone in that situation that was affected by that. Obviously, Michelle Alozie, I want to make sure she's not hurt.
She said her butt is fine. So
she did.
She's good.
But it really put the English team in a bad situation. That's a moment, I've seen a lot of talk online. I've seen a lot of people say that was inexcusable. I've seen a lot of comments saying it was horrible. But I think the majority of people said she made a mistake and she's going to learn from this mistake. She is a younger player, very, younger. She's 21, I believe, or 22. So she's a younger player who let her emotions get ahead of her. It's happened before. David Beckham got a red for a similar incident. She will learn, and it was definitely a big, big, big mistake that she will learn from.
I think she just got really frustrated in the moment and just reacted. She was frustrated. And she is young. I mean, people make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
And then she did issue an apology. Lauren James breaks silence on red card against Nigeria as England star faces costly suspension.
All my love and respect to you. I'm sorry for what happened. Also for our England fans and my teammates. Playing with you and for you is my greatest honor, and I promise to learn from my experience.
And then Michelle actually responded to that.
A beg rest. We are playing on the world stage. This game is one of passion, insurmountable emotions and moments. All respect for Lauren James.
Yeah, so she, accepted her apology. Michelle, it seems like Michelle, like you said, her butt's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. But it's a big lesson. And as of when we were recording this, we don't know how many game suspension she's going to have. I've heard multiple things. I've heard it's an automatic 1 game, obviously, but I've actually heard it's an automatic 2 game suspension.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's an automatic 1 or 2, but it can be a 3 game suspension because a Nigerian player got a straight red at the beginning of the tournament. They were given a 3 game suspension. So it looks like more than likely it will be 2, if not 3. She probably won't play for the rest of the tournament.
But I had read that Michelle Alozie was kind of happy that it happened because it was an opportunity. She said, they were obviously double teaming Lauren James, so it was actually good that she was sent off. So it gave them an opportunity. Unfortunately, they couldn't score, but I mean, they had the advantage playing 11 to 10 players.
They had the ability. If they were going to score, they were going to do it then. They couldn't capitalize on that, but yeah, they definitely said, hey, if one player is gone, one of the best player on the field in some people's opinions,
and that's good for them.
Yes. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on it. But my hope is that people don't
hold this against her.
And what you do from here is what you do afterwards. No long-term effects from any player. No one was hurt.
Her butt's fine.
Yeah. So it's like she made a mistake, and hopefully she learns from it. And then actually, Lionesses also said Lauren is really sorry for her actions, which led to the red card, and is in full remorse. It is wholly out of character for her. Then it said something else, but people thought their statement was a little strange.
It was very elementary.
Yeah, Lauren is very sorry. What is she, 5? Y'all need a new PR team. PR team. So people did think the reaction was a little bit juvenile and a little
bit naughty.
And then Sarina Vigman came out actually and said, she let her emotions get the best of her. She's a very nice, caring, sweet person. And I actually can see that sometimes the nicest people actually are the ones who let rage out in a second. You know what I mean? I actually see this.
Yeah.
So, does that mean Lauren is a bad person? No. With this one action. Now, if she has action after action, oh, maybe then. But that's one action, no. But what did everyone think about that? Then, I guess we'll go right to the PKs because this is what lost it for Nigeria. PKs, it started out really bad for England.
Yeah. It started out bad for both of them.
Yeah. England kicked first. So Georgia Stanway went up. So she missed first. So advantage Nigeria, right? That's how I look at it. Advantage Nigeria. Then the Nigerian player also missed. Next, Beth England. She nailed it. Good to see Beth England. I heard the commentators go, England for England. I love that. Then, unfortunately, Michelle Alozie took hers and missed. And that was hard to see because, I love Michelle Alozie. She's in the NWSL. She's a great player. Very beautiful.
Back off. She's mine.
And she's a brainiac. She's like a scientist. Then the next 3 England made with Chloe Kelly being the winning shot. And, she was winning shot at the Euros and against the tournament they had against Brazil. She's the golden ticket right there. And everyone loves her, like high kick, PK shoot.
I thought that was wild.
Little girls in England that's going to be their deal now. That's how they're going to do PKs.
Yeah.
Yes. That was it. It was the fate so close to the United States' fate in so many ways with the PKs.
Not quite, because Alyssa Naeher, as we remember, saved 1.5. Can we call that second 1.5? The best goalkeeper
Sarah's
in the world.
in love with Alyssa Naeher. Like,
I'm so
greatly rated.
She's the best one on the squad for me.
She takes him and saves him. You can't beat that. But
yeah.
Sarah just loves Alyssa Naeher. But that was it. England won and Nigeria lost. But props to England. They had a lot against them and they still come out. So even though we said at the beginning of the video, Nigeria was really the one who had more chances. If you can't win with 10 players, if you still win with being down a player for 30 minutes plus, you really showed heart out there. They made 4 of their PKs. They definitely were the better team. They won, and props to them. I'm excited for them. Bummed for the Nigerian players. They have a lot going on with their federation. We're not going to talk about it here. We might talk about it on a different video, but I think most people know what all the problems they're having with their federation. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, pumped for England. They deserve it. They played well. they won. They were down a player, and Lauren James, I hold nothing. I don't think the world holds anything against her. She made a mistake. We've all made mistakes. Unfortunately, hers is on the biggest stage in the world, and but I don't think she's going to be remembered for this. I think it's going to be a footnote to her career because she's such a great player. What did everyone think about this game?
England plays Colombia on
the 12th.
The 12th.
So I think that's going to be a tough match for England. Colombia is. We just watched the Colombia-Jamaica match. Colombia is hungry. Their fans, I mean, the whole stadium's going to be Colombians.
Yeah.
Those Colombian fans have come out to Australia, and I love it. Then also, we did watch the Morocco-France game. Everyone's saying how great France is looking. I mean, a lot of people said, okay, France, they're going to be tough. It's going to be a tough match between France and Australia. That's going to be very tough for Australia. Yeah. We will be back. I'm not quite sure. The next game that we'll play is tomorrow is going to be the Netherlands and Spain game. That doesn't play till tomorrow for us, 8 p.m. So it's a good 24 hours before another match will happen, and that will be an exciting game. Who do you have for that match? Spain and Netherlands.
Tough, but I think I got Netherlands.
Okay. I think I have Spain, but I would be pumped for either team to win.
Yes.
I'm team everybody.
Okay. You're usually team referees, but not for the World Cup.
Not for the World Cup.
Too many bad calls.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.